G'day guys, it's Gavin from the Cartoon Company in New Zealand. I do a heap of 1UZ conversions, and every now and then I get to work on a factory 1UZ powered vehicle. Happen to have a couple in at the moment. We're going to do a full video on this car, but I'm just going to talk really quickly about another topic, which is immobilizers. And a lot of people don't realize that in the 20 series, there was an immobilized ECU. And there's a couple of interesting things that go on with them as well. And we'll come back to that in a minute. So a lot of people think that the VVTi was the start of the immobilizers around 97. And that isn't the case. They occurred sort of late 95, 96, 97 in the non-VVTi as well. And that's in the UCF20. It's the UK spec and some of the American spec. I had one the other day that was in Canada. With the VVTi, people say that they all have immobilizer. That's not the case either. So what we have here is a range of ECUs. This one does not have an immobilizer on it. This one does. This is interesting, it's got a Denso number. There's no Toyota number on that one. That's a non-security. That's security, 50450. This one here, this is a Crown, later model Crown. So the rules are, so early Crown, 151. Loom will be out the back of the engine. It will have a viscous fan on it. It will not have an immobilizer on the computer. Okay, it will be 89661 3A for Crown, 300, no emo. Moving on to the next one, the next Crown, back to emo. So the 170 series, again, they often have a 3A, 3F chassis number. This one is such an ECU. I've just done that one. I've removed the immobilizer. And the 20 series Celsius all have immobilizers on them in the VVTi. Bypass the immobilizer there. I have to have the ECU to do the job. This one's got a flashing light. Yes, it does. I'll power it. The light's gone out. So that one's all good. So moving to the 20 series non-VVTi LS400. I've never seen this in a Celsius, only in the LS400. So some of them in some markets have immobilizer. How do you tell? If you're getting it from a donor car, and they don't always play the rules, being Toyota, just to make it fun. So how do you tell? One, you'll wire it up, it won't go, and it'll have a code 99. That's a pretty good sign. Hopefully you'll get to that stage, you'll find out before you get to that stage that it has an immobilizer. So if you have a donor car and it has a big key, it'll have an immobilizer on it. Well, it could. This one has a small key, one piece, normal type key, no room for a chip inside the head. This one has up here a little security light. Okay, that is not a giveaway, so this one still doesn't have it. If you look around the ignition switch, this one's just got a little light. There's no key reader. If it has a key reader on here, then there's a chance it's going to have an anti-theft computer. And I've got a different looking anti-theft computer on these. So this one probably doesn't have an immobilizer, but it has some other neat features that come along with it that will be of interest to some people. Now, I'm not actually chasing an immobilizer fault on this car. I'm chasing another issue, a power issue. And I know the customer's going to be watching this, so Wayne, this is your car. And he gave me the description. It's due for other work, cam belt, water pump, tensioners. There's a whole lot of other refreshing it needs under the bonnet, needs a bit of love. But before I got into that, I wanted to source and sort the power issue out. And whilst some of the stuff under the bonnet is contributing, I didn't think it was the main cause of the issue. So today we checked fuel flow and fuel pressure. That was good. Got that on video. And then I asked Mike to pull the ECU out, which he's done. And here we have the ECU in front of us. We're actually in pretty good light here. So we go in and we start checking the caps. So we check this one. We check that one, it's good. Check this one. Yep, that one's good. This one and this one are good. We get to this one and there's, oh, can we see it? Let's have a look there. Can we see the mush that's been oozing out of that cap? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can. There it is. See that? There, look at that. Oh, yucky. So this computer's got issues. So I grab the lid of the computer. We have a look at the number. It's 50320. So the Celsius and the LS400s in the 300s on the computer numbers, I don't see so many of. 380 is one I see quite a lot of in the Celsius, but not as many as the other number, which is what we see a lot of, is 240 or 250. Those are really common for me. And so I've got a couple of rebuilt ones in stock. I popped in a 240. No, I didn't. I actually started off, I put in a 151 Crown ECU, 3A080. And it popped and farted. It did actually start, which was really interesting. And then I put in a Celsius one, thinking my computer might have been funny. Fired it up, and it started and ran, but not very well. It was kicking back on the starter. Of course, I did know, but I didn't realize it so much. I had to test this theory out. And it was quite interesting. On the immobilized ECUs in an LS400, they changed the pins for the ignition trigger. So, in went my pick. I flicked them over, changed them around, and it fired into life. Now, the most common way that I solve immobilized ECUs on a 20 series non-VVti is I fit a Celsius ECU. But you must change the ignition trigger wires round. Really interesting too. Same coloured wires, but they are the other way round on the diagrams. So just be careful there. This particular car runs much nicer with the Celsius ECU. There are some differences in the Celsius. They don't have EGR. Funnily enough, one of the things I've got on my list for this car is to remove the EGR valve. So I've just solved that problem. It will have a code now for the hydraulic fan. It's not going to cause any running issues, any performance issues, and it's not going to bring on a check light. Hopefully that clears up a little bit of mystery about the immobilizers on 1UZs. And also lets you know if you've got a 20 series non-VVti, the simplest way is to find a non-immobilized ECU. I just fixed one for a guy in Canada. It was simple as. Put it in a bag, send it over to him, solved his problem, his car's up and running. So that's really cool. But remember, you have to swap those pins around. So, hope that was helpful, and we'll talk to you again. Catch you later.